back here with Fire Emblem 3 as is. I just hit my mouse and maybe ruined the recording. No, it's fine. We were hanging around the monastery last time. I believe in between the last episode and now I did some fishing and stuff on my own. I think I caught another Fodlandy, actually, which was pretty crazy. So the primary objective of this episode, it stands, I didn't use many more of the activity points. Do we have any bait? No. And do we have any fish? Oh, yes. Oh my god, yes. Oh, right, because I had all that bait saved up from before the time skip as well. So we have a lot of fish, which therefore means a lot to sell. And here's Fodlandy, which we could eat that fish for, well, I don't know what it gives. Actually, I probably already did this, didn't I? Man. So I won't sell that Fodlandy until I know which recipe it gives, because I think it's one of those that's like, gives +3 health and defense and strength, so it'll be one we want to save for like the end, probably. Morale meals. Cool. Oh, everyone's motivation is real damn high. Except for Dimitri, naturally. And I would look at those goals, except that's not the objective of today's episode. Today's episode is the support theater. We're gonna be going around watching some supports, so I guess we better start with all the Byleth ones that are hanging around everywhere, because we actually have to walk around to get those. So let's start at my quarters and work our way around the board, I guess. Actually, I guess I already turned down Ingrid that one time, right? And Annette, apparently. So, and Manuela. Right, all those to happen, so I can just trigger them from the menu now. So, now's a great time, Manuela. Let's talk.
So I said, 2 can play at that game.
Was it Contra? I should also note, I'm like really high adrenaline because I just came off recording this Dark Souls thing that will come up in a few days, probably, assuming no catastrophe. So I have the wrong energy for this right now because there's going to be a lot of somber reflexive things because we're hitting a lot of A supports and stuff. Sorry. Center myself. 2 can play at which game? I guess this is a romantic pursuit of hers.
Weasel like you ought to be begging me for attention. Oh, it gets me so mad, so worked up. Why aren't there any men around here who understand what a catch I am?
Well, Sylvain seemed to, but you blew him off because he was being weird.
Come to think of it, you've always been nice to me. If only you were a man.
Well, when has that stopped us?
I mean,
Fire Emblem characters, that is.
Problems. I feel like I can really trust you. I don't have that kind of thing with a lot of people.
Oh, that's sad, but I guess when you lived all your days in the duplicitous, sleazy-ass opera, then that would do that to you. Oh god. I don't know which one to say, actually. Sorry, I can't help. Well, that's not true. I can help. She's just refusing to consider that possibility. You're a close friend.
I know. It's a real tragedy.
Well, that's not what I was getting at, actually, but...
This is what the goddess has ordained, so I'll accept it. All right, enough of this moping around. What we need is a change of mood.
I can't go drinking with you, man. This is a war. I gotta have me in my right mind.
We've still got a lot to do together.
What are you proposing?
What are 1 or 2 men?
Calm down. That's what I wanted to say. What's wrong?
What's wrong is, it's not just 1 or 2 men, it's more like 100 men, maybe even 200 more.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
I'm completely...
Completely what?
I can't get out of this mood. Actually, I've got an idea. Exercise.
You're taking me on like an absolute cross-country sprint of emotions right now.
I'm going to the training ground. Come on and give me a hand.
Sure thing, anything you need.
My anger out on 100 training dummies. Maybe 200 if we've got them.
Probably don't. There are like 3, but I like the energy. All right, great. Man, that's a real gloomy way for that to end. She's just like, I've decided that everything sucks, so I'm gonna beat up a wall. It's all right, Manuela. You'll find.
For bothering
Even if
you
you don't.
tonight. I just really wanted to speak with you.
Sure. It's nighttime already. Oh my god. Manuela had me fighting training dummies with her all night. Sorry, it was intense. I'm happy to listen.
Thank you. You see, I've been feeling conflicted about my future.
I think we all have in this war.
It may seem petty to worry about such things in the middle of a war like this.
I don't think it's petty.
This isn't something I open up about with many people.
You don't strike me as the type to open up about much with many people.
Feeling such a sense of inner turmoil while a war rages on, and others are fighting with all they have, well, it feels a little selfish.
It's not selfish to feel. You are not your feelings.
The truth is, I've wanted to be a knight ever since I was a small child.
Dang, well, life goal accomplished. Well done.
Not just any knight, like one you might find serving within the castle guard, but a true knight, one serving a master. However, My father has always had different plans for me. He wants me to marry, for the benefit of the Galatea family.
Well, it's too bad he's not here, because you're a knight. You don't have to do what you don't want to.
Defying my father feels wrong. I've seen how he's struggled over the years.
Well, consider what would make him happier. You living your dream, or you not doing that? I think in the end he would be happier with this.
His burden has always been far greater than any I've had to bear myself.
And not to mention, it's not like your family will be the only one in hard times during the war. I think they're all gonna be, so maybe that'll level the playing field a bit in that sense. Or it'll drive prices up for goods and services.
While he
Who
fed
knows?
me extravagant meals, he subsisted on meager portions and watered-down soups. He never once complained, even though he must have been starving. Knowing his sacrifices, I've never been able to tell him of my dream of becoming a knight.
Rip, you're already one. That's interesting, though. I never considered how much her thing about eating is actually like a character thing and not just like a fun detail. Because she, likes to eat a lot and she's a foodie and stuff.
Now that this war has begun, my father has allowed me to fight for my homeland. But even if I do become a knight, I feel an unease deep within me. I fear I will never escape this guilt I carry.
Well, we've got a bit of gold lying around. Maybe we could just bribe your father into being happy.
But I have shunned my duty as a noble.
Sometimes there's no avoiding such complications. Could you not find a way to do both? Well, I don't know. She doesn't. It's not that she just wants. It's not just that she wants to be a knight, but she also doesn't want the other thing, I think. So I think the fact that her personal goals conflict with her father's wishes is more the pressing issue. So I think this is probably the more right thing to say. Sometimes there's no avoiding such complications.
Yes, I know. All I can do is accept this inner turmoil.
Well, when you put it like that.
Even with the academy days long behind us, you're still a professor through and through. Always
Doesn't
listening
feel
to
like that
others'
all the time.
troubles and offering up your wisdom. I really am grateful for all that you do for us, Professor.
Well, it's nice to be recognized. All I'm really doing is hitting stuff with the wooden axe. I'm not that special.
I hope you'll always be here as a guide to everyone. I know I myself would appreciate that deeply.
Well, my track record suggests that I will probably die a lot in the days to come, but I also hope this, Ingrid. Dang, that was also a sort of sad one. But I mean, I guess in some way it's nice because she's just saying this is the reality and I'm just gonna find a way to deal with it. Oof. All right, Annette, let's chat.
Oh, hi, Professor.
Hi, I've been standing right in front of you. Did you really not notice me? You look down.
Do you remember what we talked about before? About doing my best to not do my best?
Yes, I remember you trying and then tripping over a barrel or something. I remember a lot of things crashing and breaking.
Well, I've been pretty busy recently, and despite my best efforts, I've been trying way too hard.
Well, to not slight your efforts or anything, but this is war, and trying hard is not a bad thing in that regard.
I was busy all day yesterday with training and work. I just couldn't help myself. That's why I decided to take a day off today.
Hey, good lad.
It's just,
Lass.
now that I have a day off, I don't know what to do with myself.
Oh, I see where this is going. You want to hang out with me and have a slumber party in my room. I have to put away all the swords first, but then that's a great idea.
Please, you have to help me. What should I do?
Nothing. Have a nap. It's just one here. Either of these. But at least this was an actual thing that could potentially recharge her batteries or whatever, and therefore she might see it as productive. Have a nap?
I tried, but I couldn't calm down enough to fall asleep.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm no use at all.
But I don't think I'm cut out for not doing my best.
Great, we're just both apologizing to each other now. This is awesome.
Oh, you're a professor. You must know some secret technique for deep relaxation, right?
No. I'm anxious as hell all the time.
If you do, please teach me. I'm begging you.
I don't know.
Let's end.
I don't know. Have a cup of tea. Have some sweets. That usually does calm me down, to be
I'll
fair.
try that right now.
Okay.
This candy is so sweet and delicious. It goes so well with piping hot tea.
Ah, the illusion of branching dialogue, when in fact tea or sweets would both lead to this one eating tea and sweets. Eating tea and sweets? Great job, me. Feeling relaxed yet?
Ooh, and speaking of the tea, your brewing skills are incredible.
It wasn't me. I found that somewhere. Actually, you probably really shouldn't be drinking it. Who knows how long it was there.
I'd love to be able to make such nice tea, but... Oh, Professor, Will you teach me how to brew tea like this?
I feel like you're getting sidetracked from your whole relaxing thing, Annette.
I'll do my best to learn, and then I'll make delicious tea for you as thanks.
There were 3 words in there that stuck out to me. Is this doing your best?
Oh, sorry. Back to my old tricks, it seems.
I said that with the wrong intonation anyways, so it's fine.
So, why is it so difficult to not do my best?
Because you're a freak of nature, in the good way.
I try and try to not try, but it just doesn't work.
Just be yourself. It's fine. No one asked you to stop.
You're right. Doing nothing is just not my style.
There you go. Go do something. No one actually said you should stop doing that, by the
To
way.
be myself,
All I said was to
do my
pace yourself.
best every day.
There you are. That's the spirit.
Okay. Then you really must teach me how to make such delicious tea.
Once again, was not me.
You will, won't you? Please.
I can't.
Oh,
I don't know how to
that's
do it.
Well, thank you.
You're very welcome.
You've listened
My pleasure.
to me and helped me face my troubles.
Well, you know, I'm starting to feel the same way about you. I mean, I've never told any of the other students that I'm anxious as hell, but that's how it works, isn't it?
Now I feel like I can talk to you about anything.
I mean, except relativity. I wouldn't understand if you started talking about that.
Honestly, I wish we could go on drinking tea like this forever.
In theory, we can, but just everyone will die in the war. Well, that was nice. Thanks, Annette. That really lifted my spirits. Everyone else has been really sad, having strange revelations about their life.
Professor,
Hey, Felix.
finally, I notched a win against you.
It hurt. You crushed me.
Oh, please, I scraped by.
Nah, wouldn't say
In
that.
spar, I feel like I'm revisiting my past.
Why, are you training with someone else? Glenn, maybe? Why?
It's like training with my brother.
There it is.
He always won, always, and died before I could win a single bout.
Well, hey. If you think I mean, I guess you just have to compare me to your brother. If I'm better than your brother, then you technically got a win on against him. That's terrible.
From the first time I held a sword, all I wanted was to surpass him.
Now I want to ask why.
And that's what drove
But she's
me
not
to
gonna.
become so strong. Perhaps it's absurd to say such a thing, but I've spent all these years trying with a corpse.
It's not absurd you found an answer to my question. Well, this is a bit like, look, I'm part of this. It's not absurd.
Perhaps not. I can never again spar with my brother. Not unless he climbs out of his grave.
And if he does, then I would hope that your first instinct wouldn't be, let's brawl, sucker.
Still, I continue my endless pursuit of strength. Maybe
It's a
because
little
I have a
rough.
new opponent to measure myself against.
Ah. Violet.
You, obviously.
It is obvious.
I beat you this time, but when we next cross swords, who knows what might happen.
Ah, that's the issue. I was using a sword. See, I'm more of an axe girl nowadays.
It was a close match, not a crushing victory. I know that I can do better. I will surpass you in strength, and then I'll become stronger still.
Alright, now we're just getting hurtful, I feel. And then?
And then, when this war is over, I won't have as many chances to swing my sword.
I guess it'll be pretty dull for you, huh?
I can hardly imagine that. Anyway, thank you.
I guess it has been
for
like
helping me
5
find
or
an
6
answer
years
to
of
the
only
question
swinging
you
a sword and
asked
stuff.
all those years ago.
No problem. I'm glad that gave you a bit of closure with your brew. Ooh, everyone wasn't at max. Oh, not everyone's at max thing, actually. They're like 3/4, so I should go give people flowers after this. Lady Rhea has not yet returned. Whoa, that's like the first time I've ever seen one of the NPCs that actually walks around have dialogue.
Professor.
Hey, Mercy, how's it going? How'd things pan out with your paw?
Professor? I need to speak with you.
Sure. Always.
Thank you so much. This is what I wanted to address.
It's a letter, and she's like, I don't know where to send it. Oh, it is a letter,
from
but
my adoptive father
not for the
just
same reason I was
arrived.
saying. Adoptive father?
Oh, have I not mentioned him? He's the reason I first came to the Officers Academy.
Oh, right, you didn't mention before that. So when I opened this conversation with how is your paw, I revealed that I've been to all the other multiverses and seen things that I shouldn't have seen, and probably have just traumatized you for life. Sorry.
He's
I meant,
also the one
what's
who
up?
dragged me from the church where I was living, just so he could use my crest.
Right, okay, so not on board with this one. I don't understand.
My crest does not yet belong to a house, so he plans to use it as leverage to marry into the nobility.
This is different from the other father of yours who... No, that was your birth father, right? Who did that... Well, I won't even say what it was because it was so awful. I don't even want to talk about it.
He's a very greedy man who was a roving merchant before adopting me, but now he's in the capital. This letter says that he's finally arranged to marry me off to a wealthy noble.
You, have got shit luck with fathers there, Mercy. Sorry, I guess that's obvious and you would already know that.
I know he's just thinking of himself, but can't he see that this isn't a priority when we're at war?
Well, I guess he answered that just for yourself. He's just thinking of himself. He doesn't even think, he's probably not even concerned about the war. My thoughts exactly.
I don't know what to do about this proposal.
Well, I mean, what are they gonna do? You're out there on the battlefield. What are they gonna, like, come here and literally just drag you off? Will you accept?
I can't see any way around it, so I fear that I must.
Well, just say no. What could go wrong? You're a world-class knight. What are they gonna do? Fight you?
I just don't want to let go of the life that I've made for myself. I know it's not what my heart wants, but I don't have the strength to say no.
What does your heart want? Punching people.
I believe I've mentioned this before, but I want to work in service of the church.
There's probably a department of the church that involves punching people.
Well, I suppose it doesn't necessarily have to be the church, but I want to help those in need.
A most noble goal.
If I were to marry a noble, I think it would be difficult to realize that dream.
Unless the noble was cool and also into that stuff. Why can't you decline? This is what I want to know. Why not?
It's just, I've always allowed myself to follow the whims of those above me.
Yeah, but you've grown out of that a little, right?
I convinced myself that everything in life was at the will of the goddess. I was blind to reality. I believed it was her will to both pull me from the church and guide me to the officers' academy.
The other church.
The decision to enter this war was the first time I acted of my own free will.
And did it feel good?
My adoptive father opposed this decision, but I somehow managed to convince him.
Well, if it can be done once.
Still, I couldn't free myself of him completely. This letter is proof of that.
It's not proof of that if you can still decline. There's still time.
Not that I'm scared of him, but there is something that worries me.
Severing your ties? I guess, okay, you know what, that would be awful.
I knew you'd understand, Professor.
At least Byleth understood. Yeah, that would be really hard. Because then it's like after the war, where are you gonna go? I mean, I guess the church, but like losing that security, I guess, and that even if it's not much, that's a real tough thing. And I'm sure many people, I like the life experience that relates to that, but I'm sure a lot of people can relate to such a choice in a bad way.
I've sat down to write a reply several times, but I can't muster up the courage or the words. I was hoping you could provide me with the encouragement I need.
Yeah, I haven't done a very good job of that so far. Sorry, let me try that again. How's this for encouragement? I'm not good at this. It's up to you to decide whether you want to sever these toxic ties or not, because it's still severing ties, which is hard, but it's also cutting out toxicity in your life. And lower toxicity means less dying of poison. I got literal with the metaphor. Why reply at all? You can't just give up on your dreams. Okay, why reply at all? Because she doesn't want to be rude, even though, obviously, and she wants to have closure. And because if she doesn't reply, then probably they'll think she died in the war and go send people out looking for her or something. There's a lot of reasons to reply. Anyways, you can't just give up on your dreams.
That's a very good point. We're only given one life, so we must do all we can to pursue our happiness.
She says, frowning intensely, as one would if they were considering the choice she is making.
I think that may have been just the push I was looking for.
I pray it was, because I wasn't very helpful in the first half of this conversation.
I'll tell him the truth. That I found a life worth pursuing, and I must decline the proposal.
Hey, there we go. Sticking up for yourself. I love it.
Maybe I should tell him I've fallen for someone else.
Well, then they would want to meet that person, and that would be complex, because then you'd have to bring someone. Who might that be?
Why, it's you, Professor. Isn't that obvious?
Panic! What do I do? Why don't I get an option like in tea time? Do I blush? Do I laugh? Do I chat? Ah! Excuse me?
I'm just teasing.
Good God. Don't do that. I was about to panic propose to you right here and now.
Now I'm off to write this letter and stand my ground. Thank you for your encouragement.
All right, best of luck. Dear Dad. No. From Mercy. Hello. Hi. All right, who's hanging around? Sylvain and Ash are the two. Ah, there we are. Ash. Hey, Ash, how's it going?
Oh, hey, Professor.
Hey. You're chipper as ever.
Actually, I ran into that thief while I was shopping just now.
The one from 5 years ago, or 6-ish, however long ago it was. Thief?
Maybe you don't remember. It's been quite a while.
Sorry, I was
The man who
asleep
stole the book
for a
from
long
that
time. I
market
forgot
stall.
most of everything that ever happened.
I saw him
Yeah.
on the street with his kid. They were both so grateful.
I did have a kid. See? I was wrong to doubt you.
It's a really nice feeling.
I bet. I'm glad it all worked out.
Yeah, but it did seem like they were still having trouble getting by. I guess what you said to me back then was right. My actions didn't really solve the problem. I can't help everyone, no matter how much I try.
I wouldn't be so sure if you hadn't given them that little push that you gave them back then, that little whatever, but you gave them enough money to pay for the book, or you just gave them the book or something? Whatever it was, you certainly gave them easier times back then. I mean, in medieval times, going through rough times for like a week might mean you get sick and die. So, for all you know, you saved their lives, both of them.
If I had the money or power, maybe. But I don't.
You'll get there. No need to rush.
You know, a long time ago, Leonardo said nearly the same thing to me.
I don't know that was necessarily the right thing to say. There's no promise that he'll become rich or powerful any day, but I think what he's doing now is enough, I'd say.
I think it was when I tried to look after the horses all on my own. I really messed that up. He said, "You're not quite ready for this yet, but there's no need to rush." I know I can't help very many people right now, but I think doing what I can for those I see in front of me is still worthwhile.
That's very, very dignified and kind and respectable of you, Ash.
I have to believe that, at least.
Any more synonyms for those words, also. That's a fine way to look at it.
Thanks. That's reassuring to hear. What about you, Professor?
It's just like, oh, I thought I was
Has
screwing up
anything
for a
been
sec.
troubling you lately? I'd be happy to help. As long
Oh.
as it's not looking after horses. You might not want to trust me with that.
No, it's a wyvern. Why do I look troubled? Nothing particular was bothering me. Nothing in particular has been bothering me, no.
Hey, don't be that way. There's gotta be something. It doesn't have to be serious.
Okay, Manuela and Ingrid have been seeming a little gloomy. Can you, you're good at making food! They both like eating! Maybe would that be cool if you did
I
that?
genuinely enjoy helping people. It's a great feeling making someone smile.
I know exactly what you mean, and I have just been very bad at making it happen lately. All I've done is make Manuela and Ingrid really sad.
So if there's anything I can do for you, I want to do it. Because I care about you.
Oh, sweetheart, stop. Likewise, you care about me, huh? That's really kind. That sounds so sarcastic.
It's just what anyone would do, really.
This is turning into a gush session really quickly.
So what'll it be? How can I help?
All right, Oh, well, this would be funnier because it would actually lead in with the joke I was making 3 seconds ago, but I like this answer. Just chat with me a while longer.
I'm happy to, if that's what you'd like.
Please. Everyone else's chats have been so world-weary. I just want to talk about a book you read recently or something. Ah, grand. This is bumping a lot of people's motivation and all as well.
Professor.
Hey, sorry, what were you saying? I hope we'll restore the monastery. That's what we're working on.
That hurts.
You alright?
Professor, thanks for stopping by.
Hello? You got hurt protecting me.
It's not bad. I was even told I'd be cleared for service starting tomorrow.
Really? It's usually a lot faster than that, actually. When you just get healed on the battlefield and you're fighting fit.
Besides, I got this scar fighting for you. It's almost like a medal or something.
For you, maybe. Every time I look at it, I'm just gonna feel racked with guilt. Didn't you want to kill me? Like a while ago
certainly
and
meant
stuff.
it when I said it.
You
but
did? Oh, comforting. I was in actual mortal peril.
When I thought you were going to be killed for real, my reflexes kicked in. I reacted without thinking. It doesn't mean I've stopped being jealous of you, but come on. I can't help but look up to you.
You say that, but I've been pretty imperfect as a leader so far.
If I'd had the guts to run away from home, I wonder if I would have cared as little about my crest as you do yours.
You didn't have the courage? Well, severing ties and all, we just talked about this with
But
Mercy.
if I thought I could have escaped, I would have tried.
That's intense. You could still have the mindset I do. I mean, I guess it's probably really hard to have the same mindset, but it could probably happen. I guess it would be easier if the world also changed.
I'd leave behind House Gautier and the life of a nobleman and anybody who knew I had a crest.
That would be awesome.
Our home is to the very north of the kingdom. Just across the mountains from us is land inhabited by foreigners to Fodlan. It once belonged to Fargus, but now that the kingdom has collapsed, it's only a matter of time until fighting breaks out.
I mean, I'd like to think that they're not just going to invade because there's fighting over here.
Anyway, that land has been contested for centuries, and all that time, it has fallen to House Gautier to protect it. Actually, our Lance of Ruin has been doing most of the protecting.
I remember, 5 years ago. Miquelon did a thing.
Those were dangerous times. One wrong step, and we would have lost our relic to the church.
Yeah, we almost did until I asked for them to not do that.
My father was afraid that the church would try to keep the lance, so he entrusted it to me.
That's not how I remember that going. I mean, I know you asked him for permission, but I remember Rhea being like, we're taking this, and I was like, what if you didn't? And then she was like, fine.
If an emergency arose, I was supposed to be called back home. I guess those very situations are why my family values Crest so much.
Yeah, but that's ridiculous. She's a training lance. It has so many more uses.
Since I bear a crest, my parents made sure I was never left wanting. My older brother didn't have one, and so when I was pushed aside.
Hence all the banditry and brotherly abuse. Yes, I recall a lot of this.
You know, he once shoved me in a well. He left me on the mountainside in the middle of winter, too.
Oh, did the well have water in it? That's horrible.
Even as a little kid, I understood why he was like that. My mere existence stole everything from him.
Not that that's either of your faults, obviously.
I have no right to complain when I am surrounded by people who would give anything to bear a crest, but do not.
I don't know that you should say you don't have a right to complain. You're still being like, or you were at least being hella abused, and you're still being, it's not right what your family, the way your family treats you, I wouldn't say.
Now, women smile at me for the same reason my parents adore me, and my brother wanted me dead. And I have to meet them all with a smile and a wink, because I have a crest.
Yeah, well, at least you can finally talk about it. This sort of feels weird and prodding somehow, but I also don't want to just straight up say you're wrong. But at the same time, I do want to say you're wrong, because I don't want him to think that. I'm gonna say it, fine, be brave. You're wrong.
Yeah, it's late to admit it, but I get you. It would be best just to tell them to heap their empty praise elsewhere.
Well, I don't know that you have to be that sharp, but just be like, just be a little more straightforward with people or whatever.
Anyway, it was pretty unreasonable of me to resent you. I'm really sorry about that.
Well, it was unreasonable of your brother to resent you as well. No hard feelings either way.
I want to say thank you, Professor. Seriously, thank you.
For? For what?
Before I met you, I'd gone my whole life not knowing there was another way for me to live.
Nah, so you're saying you're gonna give this whole not caring thing a try.
So, from the bottom of my I'm glad we met.
Well, me too. Because you have healed me so many times. But also for all the soul-searching and self-improvement we've done together. That was great of us to do. Ah, good. So finally I've got all my supports out of the way. So rather than healing people monologue, oh my god, I can support with everyone. I love everyone so much. I could marry Felix, I could marry Ash, I could marry Sylvain, I could marry Mercedes. I can read. Dimitri's not really feeling like up for marriage right now, though. So maybe not that. Well, since everyone else is going to be talking for a while all across the monastery, I suppose I better observe from my astral perch up here in the goddess's Star Terrace, whatever this place is actually called. Does it have a name? Star Terrace. Oh, it is called that. I shall now stand up here and observe them all in their day-to-day chatting. Oh my god, everyone has one. Oh, we're gonna be here for like 2 hours. Felix and Sylvain, A not plus.
Sylvain, eat these.
Felix has such a way with conversation, doesn't he?
What are these, Felix? Oh, hey, is this candy?
He sees a mysterious sack with unknown small things jiggling around in it. He's like, what?
A girl in town gave them to me, but I don't want them.
Right. You don't like sweet stuff. Thanks. I'll eat them later. So,
Or you'll give them to someone else.
Want me to help you get
Some
closer
kind of
to a girl?
disingenuous present.
You're incorrigible. No, I wanted to thank you for your help in battle. If you hadn't spotted that enemy ambush, I would have been killed.
I love the delivery on that. You're incorrigible. No. just, please God, stop. No, that's not it.
Nah, I didn't do anything special. Friends
He's just
help
been
each other
protecting
out,
us all lately, hasn't he?
especially on the battlefield. Just a little give and take, you know?
You never change.
I love the relationship is so, in one way, innocent. Because Felix is always so moody and emo. And so Sylvain's always just like, come on, we're best buddies.
Nope. I try to stay on an even keel.
You're always
Always what?
nothing.
Come on. If you've got something on your mind, then say it.
Yes, honestly, that'll make this dialogue much more clear.
Maybe I'll tell you later, maybe I won't.
Fair enough.
He
I'll
sounded
be
very
having
unsure of
something to
himself
eat
all of a
while
sudden.
You're deciding whatever it is you're deciding. Actually, come with me. My treat. If you do want to talk, then I'm right there.
Hey, there's an idea.
Just this once. Only because you saved my life.
I'm only going to dinner with you because you saved my life. Holy crap, that's rough.
Free food, possible conversation, and when we're done, we can find some girls. It was a joke! Felix, I was joking. Come on, let's just go eat.
He said, running the exact wrong way for the dining hall. Well, I guess because Felix went that way, but I love that. He's like, okay, you saved my life, I guess, and he's just like, makes a joke, and he's just like, I can't do this. He just walks away. Let's pick another random one. Annette and Mercy. Oh, you guys, please tell me you're gonna be less terrible to each other.
Is this about what happened when we were shopping? If so, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Imagine saying that after 5 years. It's cool, don't worry about it.
Not so fast. I haven't properly apologized yet. So, I'm sorry. I got scared. Imagine if something bad happened to you because of me.
Mercy.
You would have just run away if you were on your own, wouldn't you? Instead, you acted defensively because I was there.
Well, it's in her nature as the party tank. It's not all about you, Mercy. No, sorry.
I dragged you down.
Mercy, you're upsetting me. How dare you say that you dragged me down?
You're upsetting me! Sorry, I don't know why it's funny that she shouted
You know
that.
why I was acting so recklessly? Because I wanted to protect my best friend in the whole world.
Annie.
Do you remember when we first enrolled at the academy? It seemed like everyone was leagues ahead of us and so far out of reach.
It's not how I remember that. I remember you destroying everything in your path, and me not keeping up even
I
remotely.
felt completely hopeless. But because you were there, I didn't lose hope. So, don't say stupid things about how you dragged me down or how you don't deserve things.
Honestly, Mercy, give yourself a little credit here.
Thank you for saying that. And again, I'm sorry. You're just so important to me. I know I could never find another friend like you. You stayed by my side through thick and thin. I wouldn't be able to forgive myself if anything happened to you because of me.
Mercy,
Oh my god, she's like crying.
be friends again.
Of course, Annie. Friends forever.
Pinky swear!
Good. I don't know what I would have done if we hadn't found a way to make up.
I don't know what I would have done, honestly.
I should've
Just sitting there with my binoculars and directional microphone.
No, I'm the one who should have stopped being so stubborn and said something.
Well, it's happened now, so we can stop arguing about who should have said something.
You know, now that everything's as it should be, I'm suddenly starving.
That's just like you. Come, let's go for tea.
Ooh, let's! And we should have some Mercy baked sweets on the side. I think I love you more than just about anything in the world.
Oh, that's so adorable.
Oh, Annie, you're too sweet.
Stop!
Not
Oh my
as sweet
god.
as your baking. I love your baking more than anything in the world too. Other than you.
Well, I'm always
I can't
happy
handle
to
this.
see you, Annie.
This is so adorable.
I'm so happy to have you back.
Oh my god. Oh, come on. That's just perfect. Oh, that's irresistibly cute. Oh my god. Holy crap. Oh, those two are the best. I'm not sure I've ever had them end up together. I wonder if that maybe will happen this time. Ingrid and... Oh, Felix, you better be apologizing here, lad. Honestly.
Why are you taking over my cleaning responsibilities?
You're wounded, and you're going too slowly. I couldn't stand to watch.
You're still fretting over me, are you? I'm fine now, really. It wasn't even serious.
I could have
Famous
handled the
last words.
situation alone. That enemy wasn't much of a threat.
Yes, we all know you could have. But I also didn't want to risk something unforeseen befalling you.
And to be fair, Felix, your defense stat says otherwise.
I've been doing some thinking. I feel a bit lost. I don't know that I'm cut out to be a knight after all. Without fulfilling that dream, without being a knight, I've been asking myself where my place is in the world.
And how does that line up with you having saved Felix's butt just a moment ago? Are you going to say that protecting him is making it all feel worth it?
And I think I found my answer. I don't want to lose anyone anymore.
Aha, so not just him, but anyone.
So I want to protect those I hold dear.
That's why you were protecting me, huh? What a fool you are.
I know Felix, and that was his sympathetic what a fool. That wasn't his angry what a fool.
Foolish to act in line with what I value most? Were I to die, I would die knowing I followed my heart, my truest calling.
That's a bit of a sore spot for Felix. I don't think you should say that to
I've
him.
been reading through more of that book I was telling you about. Recall the hypothetical question it posed? The orders, or protect your hometown.
You've been reading that garbage again?
The book never specified that one should prioritize the commander's orders. Instead, it suggested that one should follow their heart in the matter. That's what a knight, that's what anyone being true to themselves should do.
That's just the editor's opinion.
Of course. And I find value in that opinion. Glenn died following his heart.
Okay, it is
not
about
heeding
this.
the commands of the country or even the royal family.
She's using his concerns as her own, but he's probably going to react sharply to that.
His death pains me to this day. It was a tragedy. But had he survived, I think he would have suffered.
I don't know that means it's better that he's dead, but point understood.
I will follow his example. No matter the outcome, no matter the circumstance. I believe in myself.
I like how she's taking this positive stance even though he's being completely unreceptive, because that's just how they have to deal with Felix sometimes.
You know nothing.
Again, that was a very sympathetic you know nothing.
What is it that you know then? What is it you fight for, Felix?
My own beliefs.
Well, that's what she just said she does. What's the difference between your heart and your beliefs?
I see no difference from my own stance.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
You don't understand.
You fight to be stronger than everyone, that you might protect those you care for, correct?
Okay, fine. You do understand. My point
Yeah.
is, don't let this happen again. If you died, I'd be annoyed.
Honestly, that's like, for Felix saying that, that's like the equivalent of whispering sweet nothings in your ear, Ingrid. I think he may be coming on to you a bit. He said he'd be annoyed if you died.
To avoid annoyance, then, I suggest you continue to grow stronger. If that happens, I might allow you to protect me too.
You're insufferable.
But you sort of met in the middle there, because you both kind of said you wanted the same thing in the end. To be as strong as possible to protect those you care about. Sedith has some really interesting supports with people. Well, since we just have Felix and Ingrid, let's do Sedith and Ingrid. Sure.
Is something troubling you, Ingrid?
Oh, said it.
He is like weirdly like
You
very
seem to have
a comforting
caught me when I
presence, even
thought
though he's
nobody
all
was
stern
around.
and uptight and serious and austere and all.
Perhaps I can help, if you would like to share.
I wouldn't want to bother you with my trivialities.
I will not pry, of course. But if you keep it to yourself, no one will be able to help you.
I will not pry. I will not pry. But I won't pry. But
That's true. It's regarding my father.
Count Galatea. I have met him once or twice.
with a storied story like yours, I guess he's probably met a lot of people.
Well, you have likely heard that House Galatea's financial situation is precarious. Many regions of Fargus are harsh and infertile, but our lands are especially so. There were several years of fruitless harvests. It nearly ruined us. We could barely feed our troops. Then I was born bearing a crest, after generations bore none. Suddenly my family hung its future on me. My father had hopes that with my crest, I'd be married into a noble family, and that House Galatea's financial troubles would be a thing of the past.
And then you were a knight.
Ah, I see. And the other house would benefit from the addition of your crest-bearing blood.
She's being used as a bargaining chip. Yes, you understand now.
Seems to me you have suffered much for the misfortune of being born with a crest.
I beg your pardon?
I know crests are highly valued,
Holy
but
crap.
they're also a burden. My feelings are mixed.
That would be so crazy to hear a member of the church, a high-ranking member of the church, say that. Basically the highest at this point, except for me, I guess. I mean, that would be like in real life if you spoke to a, I don't know, like a really high-ranking priest or something, and they were like, I don't know, the crucifix is kind of dumb. Like, it's just like, holy crap, what did you just say?
You truly think so? But you're so devoted to the goddess. I'm surprised to hear you say such a thing.
Perhaps one day of crests in greater detail with you.
But I would have to explain a lot of really spoilery stuff first, so I won't.
For now, let it suffice to say that whether or not you bear one is secondary to your identity.
Good man.
You are a person, first and foremost. And you should be permitted to grow as a person, crest or not.
I love that.
agree.
I love that so much.
Thank you for listening.
If you ever wish to discuss this again, consider me available whenever you please.
Thank you so much.
She's just like awash with like, holy crap, he understands. It's too bad we're benching him because I would like to get a lot of these supports. I guess I can always take him as an adjutant just to bring him along and get supports with people. I in particular remember his supports with Manuel being pretty fun. Why not? Let's do his support with Felix right after.
May I help you, Sedith?
Finally noticed me, I see. Good to see that you are so dedicated to your training.
Do you have need of my sword?
No, this is not a military matter. I would like to discuss the distance you seem to be keeping from the others.
Distance? I don't follow.
What, do you mean like 5 meters, 10 meters?
I have noticed that you like to keep others at arm's length. And in most cases, quite a bit further.
Keeping a close eye on me. They don't
Oh.
share my values, that's all.
He was really sharp
Is that
about
why
that.
you train alone?
Even to Sedith.
Because your friends do not share your values?
You seem displeased. I suppose you're going to tell me, to defeat your enemies, you must have dependable allies. allies.
Well, as a support class, you should know better than anyone.
That's not exactly how I would phrase it. But having good relationships with your allies is essential in combat.
Increases your hit rate, bro.
I am sure you realize that it is easier to bond with people when you interact with them more. There are limits to what one person can do alone. Great things cannot be achieved without allies.
Unless you're a net.
You sound like my father. It's in my own interest to make friends.
To put it simply, yes.
He said it sounded
much as you
so
possibly can.
dismissive there.
To be honest, I envy you, because I know what it is like to not have many people to call friends.
I wouldn't have guessed that. There are so many devout believers.
Well, that's not really the same thing, is it, Felix?
I am talking about friends. People to speak with on equal terms.
And this is even worse for Sedith for reasons that are... I guess we haven't really found out yet, so I won't say them,
You
but...
have many friends here. You should take care to attend to them.
I'll consider your advice, but I'm not usually one to change my mind.
Don't worry, I'm pretty sure the whole monastery knows that.
To be young.
Weirdly personable, those two. Sylvain and Mercedes, oh, I gotta see this again. They were
Mercedes.
they were such good friends in the
Fine as always.
childhood sequence. Childhood sequence? The academy phase. What is that actually called? That, I guess.
Good evening, Sylvain. Thank you for coming out to see me.
And just ignores the fake compliment.
Just the two of us meeting at this time of night? You move quicker than I thought.
I don't know what speed has to do with it, but there was something I wanted to talk to you about.
Ah, okay. I probably should have figured that out.
I can be so forgetful at times. I neglected to mention this the other day. I meant to say that I know you've been through a lot in this life.
Huh? Me?
Your parents have placed a great deal of pressure on you as their heir, and it's all because you were born with a crest. You've had to put up with such lofty expectations.
All of the kingdoms expect a lot from their heirs.
Don't deflect, Sylvain. She knows you're going through something, and she's being a lot more proactive about it now that she doesn't just leave everything to the will of the goddess or whatever.
I'm no different from any other noble guy or gal. We've all got responsibilities.
But didn't you mention that your brother envied you enough to wish you dead? I'm sure that wasn't easy.
Thinking about it was probably a lot harder for my brother than it ever has been for me.
And he also made some questionable choices with his life.
Didn't you also mention that women were only interested in having your, as you say, crest baby?
Yes, you guys had a whole comedic bit about it, actually.
I'm not very
Comedic slash wholesome slash
interested in
heartwarming.
particulars, but I get the feeling that you don't care very much for these women who throw themselves at you.
I'd appreciate it if maybe you kept that observation between the two of us.
I've got a reputation as a scandal to uphold, after all.
Your secret's safe.
A scandal?
with me.
It's a vandal. Whatever.
I understand the pain you've had to carry.
I know you've got your share of bad memories too, but
That's why you feel comfortable letting your guard down around me. Come now. That's enough with the sad
Because she knows just as well as he does that there are some things that you can't just tell to everyone.
Mercedes, was my sad smile really that bad? Did it ruin my dashing good looks?
That was so pathetically weak, the laugh he gave
Not
there.
at all. You actually look more handsome to me with honesty on your face.
Oh,
Aw, here come the waterworks.
honestly.
Don't be ashamed of crying. I'm here to protect you.
From unwanted eyes.
Will you protect me in return?
I will, I promise. You know, Mercedes, you really are a special lady.
That was genuinely honest when he said that just now. Holy cow. In any other context, Sylvain saying that would have, like, for sure been complete nonsense. But that time, that was 100% serious.
That we were assigned to clean this ancient tower.
It was your idea to clean the whole monastery, to be fair.
It's not a pleasant job, but someone has to do it.
You guys have got some magic capabilities. Maybe you could light up the place. It's extremely dark right now. Somehow you guys are perfectly illuminated.
With all the windows boarded up, it's so dark. And there are strange noises.
That's just Dimitri, sorry. He goes there to hunt rats sometimes.
Like that noise. What was that? A rat? Tell me it was a rat.
It was Dimitri.
Better than a ghost.
You're not scared of ghosts, are you, Ash? I didn't think you'd be.
Well, why not? What gave you that impression?
You haven't seen what I've seen. Ah!
Oh no! What was that noise?
It's okay. It's
You
just the
haven't
wind
seen
blowing
what
the
I've
door shut.
seen? Ah, it's doing
Oh,
it quite a lot.
The latch is rusted.
Oh no, it's you trying to open it.
It won't budge.
What? You mean trapped in here?
Smash down a wall quick, please!
Sorry, I didn't think to prop the door open.
Don't worry about that now. We need to think of a way out of here.
Well, what if
The
we
most
were to
dramatic
pry the boards
support.
off the windows?
Yes, that. We can do it in no time.
With your relative strength stats, this should be easy.
Oh, there's something on my face.
Calm down, Ash. It's a cobweb. Just a cobweb.
How can you tell that? It's pitch black.
Gotta pull ourselves together. Now, which of the windows should we check? I can't stand it here in the...
The closest one.
I've got one
Just
here.
get out!
Stand back.
Ooh, nice one, Ash, I think. I can't see anything, but it's a smash,
We
I
made
heard.
it.
I wouldn't want to go through that again.
Holy hell.
For a moment there, I didn't think we'd make it out alive.
You know, those cobwebs, they can be so deadly.
No. Oh, wait. I've lost it. It's gone.
Well, your marbles?
What is it?
The doll my father gave me. Oh, I must have dropped it.
What the balls were you doing bringing it into a pitch black ancient tower?
Tower? Are you going back for it?
No, it's okay. Don't worry about it. I've been meaning to throw it out for a while now.
Oh, that's adorable.
Are you sure? If it was a gift from your father...
Yes, but it can't be helped. Let's just get back to the monastery.
I'll bring a torch in there, guy. We can buy them from the store if you must.
Right.
I don't mind spending war effort money on you guys not having, like, traumatic ghost experiences. Felix and Mercy, let's see this. We haven't even gotten them to be support. Interesting.
Here you are.
Oh, were you looking for me, Felix?
Well, I don't think he would say here you are for any other reason.
You were injured in the last battle. Are
And
you okay?
everyone's been injured in these battles. It's almost like fighting a war is hard.
I'm fine now. Thank you for your concern.
You really are troublesome.
I'm so sorry. I didn't want to get in your way out there. I just couldn't help but worry. I was only trying to keep an eye on you.
What are you even doing on the battlefield?
Fighting? Dumb question.
You endangered yourself and got hurt. Such a stupid thing to do.
Yes, of course, you're right. I
No.
have no excuses.
Mercy, don't see through this, please. He's just projecting poorly.
If you intend to carry on being such a fool, you'd best stay near me.
He said, not meeting her gaze,
Are you
even
sure?
remotely.
I'd hate to get in your way again.
You can,
Hmm?
you can keep thinking of me as your little brother. And that'd be better than going through this again.
Ah, instead of dealing with all these feelings, I'm just gonna let you feel things. It's way less complex. Bah,
Like that.
humbug.
Didn't you say you were fed up with it?
He is, but it's less complex, he said.
I am fed up with it. I've already spent years filling in for someone who's dead. My older brother inspired love and respect. He was a great knight. He died. Since his death, his memory has followed me around like a shadow.
Oh, I didn't know you had a brother too.
I don't let my personal feelings distract me on the battlefield.
Did you hear the self-importance there? I don't let my personal feelings distract me on the battlefield.
Still, do I really remind you of him?
Well, you don't look like him, but something about you feels so familiar. It just makes me want to protect you. That's not to say that you're incapable or unreliable or anything like that. In fact, it's quite the opposite. You're the one who just came to check on me.
You need to pay attention to your surroundings. You're reckless.
Yes, you've covered this already. She was just paying you a compliment. Some people say thank you.
Lives are at stake, including mine when I have to run over and save your skin.
Yes, I'll try to be more careful. Thank you for being kind, Felix.
Okay, she's getting accustomed to his way of speaking now.
Whatever.
As artful as he is at beginning conversations, here, Sylvain, eat these. He is incredible at ending them too. Whatever. Ingrid and Sylvain. Let's have a look.
Training on your
Any
own.
more strange
You
things
really
you've tried to
do
flirt
look
with in the past that she's about to chastise you for?
I hate to break it to you, Sylvain, but there's nobody here for you to flirt with. So there's not much reason to hang around.
You're here, aren't you?
How ridiculous.
Nice.
Almost as ridiculous as your face.
That's how you know they're like childhood friends. Can you imagine anyone saying that to anyone else that wasn't like a best friend since youth? It's ridiculous as your face.
You really say something like that to a handsome guy like me? I'm crushed.
You sure seem that way.
Joking aside, may I join you? I only came out here so I could train too.
Sure, just don't get in my way.
I've been thinking about it, and I really depend on you. Maybe that's weird since I'm older than you, but
I mean, like,
still.
1 or 2 years. Not that weird.
Hitting on me? Again? Have some dignity, would you?
No, I'm being honest. I thought you'd listen. Hey.
Well, that
I'd like it if
pause
you
was
didn't get
extremely
too
long.
far away from me on the battlefield, okay? Just stay where I can see you.
I'll stay as long as I can. You're useless without me, after all.
What? No, I'm saying if there's one thing I can do on the battlefield, it's keep you safe.
What was all that stuff about you depending on her a second ago then?
Whatever helps you feel better.
Yeah,
Stay
honestly.
without me, then.
Whatever you want, buddy.
I'd be if you went off and died on me while I wasn't around.
You better die in front of me if you're gonna die at all.
I'm pretty sure that's my line.
It's getting late. We'd better head out.
You're right. I'm exhausted anyway.
You haven't been practicing. All that time you waste chasing after women would be better spent training.
He's a healer, he doesn't have to have a good strength stat.
I'll train with you anytime. So just... What's that strange look for?
I just... well... You're going to think I'm being a jerk or hitting on you or whatever. When we're side by side like this, training, I feel... I don't know. Oddly at ease.
Oh, it is really kind of hard to see him sometimes when he's just like, I don't know how to say something genuine. I know everyone's gonna think I'm lying, but I'll say it anyway.
I know what you mean. It's probably because we've been friends for so long.
It's probably because your face is ridiculous.
That must be it. Let's never change. Friends forever?
Pinky promise! Or pinky swear, or whatever it is that I screamed the first time.
No matter what happens, we'll always be friends, Sylvain.
Look at this. Look at how many pinky promises we have going on in this episode. Can we get one more? I'd like another pinky promise by the end of this. Mercy and Ash. Oh, this ought to be sweet. Oh, did she
Excuse me, Ash.
blown anything up yet?
Do you have a moment? I finally managed to finish cooking a dish.
Hey!
I would love for you to have a taste.
And note how no one is dying of smoke inhalation. Marked improvement.
Sounds good. I'd be happy to.
He just like throws his face into it.
Mercedes. This is delicious.
I used that herb you suggested. Boiling it gave off such a lovely aroma.
It only took me 5 years to figure out how to bring the pot to a boil.
I think I used the right amount of spice, too. Even I could eat it without burning my tongue.
Many market improvements we have.
I'm a much better cook now, thanks to you. I hope you can continue teaching me.
Oh, definitely. I should thank you too.
Thank me? Even after all the trouble I've caused you?
Sorry, I can't help laugh a bit. Ash is just so like fantastically earnest and chipper and polite to everyone he meets. It's so
Seeing you
uplifting.
persevere has made me really happy. In fact, you've reminded me of someone I cared about a lot.
Oh, someone you cared about? Romantically? This is
Whoa there.
so
I don't think he said that.
I don't...
I didn't mean it that way. I was actually thinking about my brother.
What a relief.
Oh, phew! For a second I thought you were in love with me and I was gonna just tell you that I would never marry someone like you.
He was the son of Lenato, my adoptive father. I always called him my brother, though. Failure never got to him. All he'd ever do is laugh and try again. Whenever I was feeling down about a setback, he would cheer me up.
And how poetic then that you do that same thing to everyone else.
He'd say something like, "Don't worry, we'll tackle it together next time." I was always happy to have him around.
He sounds like a wonderful person.
He was. And I get the same feeling from you.
I've done nothing but bother you with frivolous little things.
But you've had the same attitude, which is it comforted him greatly, I
I'm
expect.
sure I could never be like your brother, but I'd like to stay by your side, if you'll have me.
Now you're the one who's starting to sound a little on the romantical side there, buddy.
What do you mean?
I want to be there to help you in times of need, or to cheer you up when you're feeling...
All right, good
I
clarification.
should be able to manage that without doing too much damage.
I would still avoid anything that can burn.
I'm glad to hear you say that. Thank you, Mercedes. I know I can rely on you.
And so they did. It's good that our healer has such good relationships with everybody. Flane and Manuela. Let's do that.
Manuela, do you recall what you told me?
About how things are never as good as they seem, or whatever it was.
You mentioned that
This,
if a place
yes.
shines brighter than anywhere else, then its shadows will be darker too.
You sound so worried. That was nothing, dear. Call it a joke.
Oh man, no. You were very serious there, and you had a good reason to be.
It most certainly did not sound like a joke. Can you please elaborate? Of course, I love hearing about your glamorous past, performing on stage. But all that glamour doesn't account for the shadows you spoke of.
Your story doesn't add up, miss. Manuela, or Miss Casagrande, whatever. But obviously, if you don't want to talk about that because it was awful, then you don't have to, I guess.
Well, I suppose I could share a little.
It was awful. She goes into this like hour-long rant.
Here's the thing about the opera. Talent isn't enough to earn you a position in a glamorous show. You need money, connections, and, failing those, the stomach to commit a spot of violence. I spent many nights buttering up nobles in power.
I have a very bad feeling about what that particularly means.
No matter how humiliating the task, I'd do it because I wanted to be a star. I hope that kind of talk isn't too shocking for a sweet girl like yourself. Are you disillusioned with me now that you know my sordid past?
Not at all. Understanding you more deeply, I can see how much strength has been required of you all this time.
Flame.
I am well aware that survival and striving for dreams sometimes means doing things we would not normally do.
And perhaps should not do, period. Although, broad strokes, you did help a lot of people with your performances, or so I'm given to understand.
Perhaps because you have been so strong, lived with such conviction.
Dorothea, for instance. I'm sure there were other people like Dorothea who she helped in her career. She wasn't soulless, even though she did things that were soul-rending.
Perhaps that is why your songs have touched so many people's hearts.
You sound very wise all of a sudden. Thank you, Flame.
It's not the nicest compliment.
I would like to rescind my original request of you.
Your request to hear one of my songs?
Indeed. Instead, I have a different request.
I want you to never sing ever.
I would like to see you perform an opera on stage.
I don't know about that. It's been a long time since I stood on stage.
A one-woman show would be pretty
I
taxing.
imagine you have experienced much since you left the opera company. It follows then that you have developed new insights, charm, and wisdom to share.
New personality to bring to the roles.
Yes, I probably could play a tragic role even better now than I could back then.
As sad as that is, it's also cool.
But it's hardly the time for operas. We need to put an end to this war first.
Good shout.
Agreed. Let us make the curtain fall on this war as soon as possible.
I get it, because we got opera jokes, y'all.
Maybe then we can raise the curtain.
Don't tell me it wasn't intentional, Flame.
That is exactly what I yearn for.
Grand. I like that she didn't really sugarcoat it for Flame there. I mean, she didn't get into details because that would be horrible, but she wasn't like, you're too young to understand, I'm not gonna tell you that stuff, it was, you wouldn't understand. She was like, yeah, it freaking sucked. That she trusted her enough to tell her that, I guess, is delightful. Oh no. Just takes a flashlight, and then it all goes boom. And then I make boom.
If you blow up the library, where will we put the books?
It's not literal, Felix!
And then a big ah! What are you doing here, Felix?
I heard singing.
You were watching me again, weren't you?
Well, your skill is impressive, I'll admit.
Oh, day of all days. I knew I should have chosen a different song.
A flash, and then I make
Different song? Like what?
The one about bears or swamp beasties.
Any of them. The box song, maybe the dungeon
The
song.
box song. You're making this so much worse for the both of us.
Now those sound interesting.
It's so serious.
No, they're just regular songs.
None of those are regular
Forget
songs
it.
in it.
While you're here, can you help me clean up? I need the books on that shelf up there, but I can't reach them.
And it's too bad I don't know any magic that might be able to help.
Oh, sure. No problem. What? You're not going to sing anymore?
No way! It's too embarrassing. And that song isn't even finished anyway.
Sure. Lay on the excuses now after the chance. And I was playing with a Wii steering wheel, and I was blindfolded.
Ah, that's too bad. I wanted to hear what happened after the library was blown away.
Well, obviously we put it back together, Felix, using our lollipop hammers.
Hey, don't look at me like that. Okay, fine. If you insist, I'll sing just a bit.
This is so terrible. He's just gonna be like sitting there, like judging as she sings. Oh no, Annette!
Clean the library room.
Just takes a flashlight, and then it all goes boom. Felix, stop judging us.
Flash and then a big boom. Suddenly the deed is done. My, what a great job I did. Who says cleaning isn't fun?
So again, a work in progress, but
Huh. That doesn't really explain what happened with the library. Maybe they'll build a new one?
Yeah, Felix!
Oh, this is so embarrassing.
He's just like, I don't get it. Why does it blow up? Ash and Ingrid, here we go.
There you are.
I'm enjoying this sitting from on my perch, just looking at all my friends interact strangely.
Whoa, hi Ash. You seem excited. What's that you're holding?
A book, I bet.
A book I found in town. I bought it for you.
From me? Ash, this looks very costly. Antique books like this are never cheap.
This is like a special edition version of the book.
Wow. The cover is stunning.
Comes with a
and
little
the binding
figurine
is
of
still
Luke
in
or something.
Fantastic condition.
I drove a hard bargain. Still, I'll probably have to cut back on my spending for a while.
Don't worry, Ash, I'll cover you. I've got a whole bunch of fish.
Why did you go to so much trouble?
It wasn't easy, but as soon as I came across this legend, I knew you had to read it too.
The Garrick Bachmuck Club stays together forever, Ingrid. No war is going to stop our reading.
Well then, I will read it. Oh, the knight on the cover looks striking.
There wasn't anything on the cover, Ingrid, but... Well, I guess it was upside down.
Fascinating, right? I was
Because it would
captivated
open on
from
the
the
left.
moment I laid eyes on the cover.
There's an aura of stoicism intermingled with beauty, even amid a gruesome battle.
Are you reading that, or are you just being poetic all of a
Wait.
sudden?
Looking closer at the face, this knight is a woman.
Yes, and she was a real historical figure. She was born into a noble family. A crest, but she was accepted into the king's service as a knight.
Well, goddamn, that's so conveniently symbolic that this is absolutely perfect. I see why you were saying it, where you like had to show her
She
this.
fought in many battles at her king's side, serving him all her life as his right hand. Oh, sorry, I've said too much. I didn't mean to spoil the story for you.
She dies in the end. Ah, damn it. I mean, sorry.
I'm just so excited. I hope you enjoy it too.
Thank you for the encouragement, Ash. Living as a knight is certainly not an easy task. I know it will mean much pain, strife, and heartache.
a little going against your father, but
But I still want to pursue that dream.
worth.
Talking to you has reminded me, I'm not the type who gives up easily.
That's
I
the
guess it's a
Ingrid
good
I
thing to be
know.
reminded of.
So to start, I'm going to read this book.
Attainable goals. I like
Great.
it.
When you're finished and freshly inspired, we'll talk about becoming knights. Not the ones in stories either. The real thing.
Better
I
nights.
look forward to it, Ash.
Garrick Book Club forever! Amazing. That leaves just one support, Felix and Flane. Ah, we're coming to the end of it now.
What's
I've been
that
meaning to
you're
try and
hiding?
keep the episodes short, but I just had to watch them all today. I'm sure something else that she wants you to cut out. What was it last time? Logs?
Oh no, my surprise is spoiled. I had brought some fruits for you to cut up in addition to the firewood. I thought some variation might prove amusing.
No, I'm not doing that again.
He says, unaware that he will be entirely tricked with his ego again, I'm sure, in the next, like, 3 sentences.
I've got better uses for my sword than chopping up fruit and firewood.
I cannot imagine what could be better than chopping fruit.
1 sentence.
Chopping up my enemies.
You say that as though you have many enemies.
2 sentence.
So you would rather chop people than firewood. Is
3
that it?
sentence. Did that convince him?
That's not how I put it, but a blade's purpose is to kill.
Okay, maybe not 3 sentences.
To chop wood, use an axe. To chop food, use a knife. It's simple.
What if I do the opposite? I'll saw through wood with a knife. I'm a very patient person, Felix. I will do something very stupid if you dare me.
Surely it is not forbidden to use your sword for other things, like chopping fruit.
What's the worst that can happen to it?
Swords that cut inanimate objects are serving a much finer purpose than those that cut living beings.
What a noble sentiment. But without a blade to cut down your enemies, you cannot win.
Yeah, well, you're just not gonna break from cutting this little banana.
Those who are weak lose everything and they die. Those who are strong win and live on.
Well, man, a way to make it black and
I
white.
understand why you bulk at bloodshed. But you must know that it has a purpose.
And what purpose might that be?
A purpose. Let's just leave it at that. I'm not in the
Very
mood to-
convincing.
I'll continue to wield my sword, and if necessary, cut down my enemies.
Oh man,
He
she didn't even
certainly
convince
is
him.
a stubborn one.
Oh, I totally thought she was gonna get him to cut, to trick him into cutting more stuff. Well, at least he's grown a little bit in his wisdom stat and won't get tricked by all that nonsense anymore. Ah, so good to see them all bonding. Oh, that was quite a bit. So it looks like next time we're gonna be. I guess I'll just spend it all doing all the training battles. Or should I do those off camera because they're gonna be really a lot. Well, there'll probably be a lot of XP and a lot of learning skill, because a lot of us are on the threshold of skills that we really want. So probably that's what we'll do next episode will be, I'll do, what is my professor level right now? 745, okay, so I'm basically, by the end of this day, when I use all the activity points, I'll be at A+, which means we get 3 battles per battle day. So probably what I'll do then is I'll do just 2 of the other training missions, and then the rare monster, and then rest day, 2 of the other training missions, and then another rare monster. So that'll probably take a whole episode the rest of this month, and then we'll be able to finally head off to do this mission, which I guess won't be heading off because it seems like it's going to be very much a thing that happens here. But we've been fighting for 5 years. There are preparations that must be made before we can again head out to battle, of course. So this was always going to be coming. But that was good fun. Well, we're seeing relationships blossom, some of them taking a turn for the more romantic and some of them just taking a turn for the more sincere. Why not ask now? This is a question we all must ask in the Fire Emblem times. What's your favorite 3 houses ship? Gotta get it out there. This is an important question. Oh man, it's tough actually though. I think my top 3 are Dorothea x Petra at number 1, Byleth x Bernadetta at number 2, and then I guess it's gotta be Sylvain and Felix at number 3. Just because there's so much perfection there with Felix being all moody and then Sylvain being all disingenuous, but then they kind of like they fit together in a way that's just, it just works because it's like opposites attract, but they're also it's the childhood friend dynamic, but then also the relationship between their families like gives significance to their relationship because they both have these lofty expectations placed upon them and they take to them differently, but they are able to relate over how different they are in that respect. Like Sylvain is like, well, I guess I'll act like this is like I'm gonna be married off and this is my last way, and when Felix is just like all focused on the combative elements of like I just gotta keep getting stronger, and which is technically what his own family wants. They're both doing what their families want, but sort of like in the wrong way, but in the way that makes sense to them in weird ways. I don't know. There's a lot that they bond over. And Byleth and Bernadetta I love because, even though it's a little weird because Byleth is like a guidance counselor to so many of them, so it's like, is it not like a little weird for them to be romantic? But I guess that's always just gonna be with any of Byleth's relationships. But I like them because Byleth is sort of quiet and has like a passion for like listening to people, and Bernadetta has like a sort of a nervous habit of rattling off for a while. But so it feels like they would together find a way of communication that is healthy. And they would help each other through stuff. Also, their ending together is really cute. And then at the top, Dorothea x Petra, because, I mean, there's so much good there because they both have this thing against, like, noble houses have given them trouble in the past, but for different reasons, where Petra is literally royalty and Dorothea is, like, grew up on the street. So there's that conflicting element of it, and there's a bit of like the classic rags to riches story for Dorothea there, but then there's also Petra has these like ambitions of like I've got to be a good leader for everyone, and then Dorothea has these things of like I've got to look out for the little guy kind of thing because I was that. So the fact that them together is like such a powerful combo for that reason as well, and they're also just both very sweet and well-meaning. So I've explained my top 3 ships now, spent too long doing it, but I'm justified now, so because I used a lot of words for an extended period of time. So there's that, and I extend the question to you now. Favorite ship, you can give me top 3 or just 1 or whatever you want. You don't even have to answer the question, it's just there. And next video is going to be, I believe we're heading back into The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker. Gonna try and see about asking Ganon to stop strangling children. May not be able to convince him, but if we're honest and really nice, I think he'll probably see a reason, right? So look on out for that coming soon. And with that, Admiral is done playing this video game for now. I'm done. So thank you very much for coming around, and hopefully I will see you around. Admiral's gonna be out of here now. Peace. Oh man, it's all raining now to make things worse. Oh, that was what that is? I thought it was thunder. I didn't see it, I heard it. Oh boy. Working on it. I don't remember how to honk the horn, but I'm pretty sure there is a way.